Hey guys, Doug, D Music Reviews, back with another review, my second return review, if you could call it that. The band I'm going to be reviewing today was a band that was given to me, or suggested to me, should I say, by my good friend Mike, or I can't remember what the numbers are after his name, but Mike, basically. Some of you might know him in the community. He has his own band, I'm La Lumiere, or Lumiere, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Go and check that out. In fact, I'll put his YouTube link down below so you can go and check out his band. Really good stuff. Anyway, he's into sort of black metal, depressive black metal, some really dark shit. And he gave me this band called I'm in a Coffin. I've never heard of this band before when I actually heard of it, but now they are one of my favourite bands, actually. This is one of my favourite albums. It's called One Final Action. Now, I'm in a Coffin, you may not have heard of them, but they're actually quite big after doing this album. But basically they're from the United States, they were formed in 2008, which is also the release date for this album. They are black metal, but they're really depressive black metal. The lyrical themes are basically anything within the depression area, which includes, you know, self-abuse and suicide and stuff like that, feeling sad, feeling bad. The general gist of most depressive black metal bands are depressive bands in themselves. Before this they had two demos called Buried Alive and Lightness/Hopeless, which contained demo versions of some of the songs on this, and also some that they didn't actually include. The demos in themselves are actually really bad. Everything on the demos sounds quite a lot different to this full-length LP, and I've actually heard these demos and I did not like them at all. But when I heard One Final Action, it was actually a very good surprise for me. One Final Action is 9 tracks, it's about 51 minutes and 21 seconds. It was released on October 1st, 2008 under Self-Mutilation Services. And the first thing I have to say about it is the album cover. Now, the album cover is actually pretty disturbing. It's got One Final Action, I'm in a Coffin, and their special black metal lettering. But the main picture on it is the image of somebody kneeling down against a post and being shot. Or at the very least, I think that's what it is. He's wearing a mask, he's tied around a rope, and the post behind him has wood chips being blasted out of it. So I'm guessing that means he's being shot or something. So you can tell straight away from the album cover that this is going to be something pretty dark, pretty sad, and pretty deep, pretty emotional, and that is all incredibly true, completely true, in this release especially. You start off going into the first song, which is I'm a Weapon Against Myself, which charts in at about 7.5 minutes. And this is such a great opener in my opinion. Now, one thing I'm going to say, in fact I'll say it afterwards actually, I'll keep it for a bit, but the one thing I'm going to say right now is you'll hear straight away bass guitar, and plenty of it, and this is the prominent instrument throughout the entire album. They use a lot of bass, and they use it really well. As it's black metal, and it's sort of underground black metal, it does have quite a gritty and quite a bad production, but that's pretty regular, and for them it actually works really well, especially in the depressive area. The bass guitar is done very well, it's actually quite skillful, despite the fact that, you know, it doesn't range too far, it doesn't go outside any certain boundaries. They keep it quite safe with the bass, but they do it really well. Some really dark, heavy guitar lines, bass guitar lines, and I think that the bass on this is actually really good and is one of the best things about this band. They have two band members actually, one is called Sadist and the other one is called Adorable, so they sort of do a humorous approach to it. Sadist does bass, keyboards, and vocals. Adorable does guitars, drum programming, and more vocals. And you can tell that they are programmed drums. There's some very basic beats. It's mainly just snare and bass, but the drums work pretty well with the music. They're not very special, but they do the job. The vocalist, I'm guessing Sadist is the main vocalist in this, and if so, then he is one of the best black metal vocalists I've ever heard, especially when it comes to the topic of depression. His voice is so emotional in this music, and that is really, it really increases the atmosphere in this music. The main thing about this music and this entire band is the atmosphere it can create, and they do such a good job of it, not just with the music, but mainly with the vocals. Now, they use a really high-pitched tone in their singing, and you can tell straight away. In fact, go and listen to this. I'll put a preview song down below if I can find one. It's some of the most emotional singing I've ever heard in my life, basically. You can tell that these guys really feel what they're talking about, and are really actually depressed people, and to a lot of people, this will actually be really disturbing. A lot of people won't like this band, but for the person who does, for the person who has, you know, who can sort of stretch their musical interests that far, and really open their mind or open their ears to this sort of thing and become interested in it, this will be golden. I think that people who are into any sort of depressive music or into this high-pitched screaming black metal sound, they will be really, really interested in this work, but for a lot of people this band will just not work. But throughout this entire thing, it's just chock full of emotion. There's so much emotion in this that's insane. In fact, I'm often worried, listening to this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, while they're doing this, do they take breaks and cut themselves or something? Because it's disturbing even for me, and I like this stuff. But basically, One Final Action, I'm in a Coffin is really, really good music. I mean, I can go on about it for ages, but until you listen to the track below, you won't understand what I mean. They know what they're doing, they know how to portray the emotions, and they do it so, so well. And over this 9-track affair, it works fantastically well. For most people, you won't like it, and it will just be out of your reach. For the people who do like it, they'll love it. So please go and check it out. I think some people that I know might like it. Some of the songs are actually pretty short. Their shortest is about 3 minutes 18 seconds, their longest is 10 minutes and 3 seconds, but they don't waste the time that they've got. The production, it doesn't actually even sound like they're doing this in a studio. It sounds like they're just sitting in their room recording all of this stuff. But I think that adds to the atmosphere even more. I think that just means that it means more to them, if anybody can understand what I mean by that. But I've been babbling on for God knows how long now, so sorry about that. I can't really pinpoint anything bad about this album. To me, this album is one of the best in the depressive black metal area, and I think that it's going to stand its ground for a long, long time to come yet, and I think it's going to become quite a popular piece. It's already got quite a cult following, and I can only see it improving in terms of popularity. Also, I'm in a Coffin. After sort of 3 years of being away, they have started updating their MySpace a bit more. They are back, and they are going to be creating a new album, so when that comes out, I'll let you guys know about it if you're at all interested. Until that time, please go and check out One Final Action by I'm in a Coffin. You probably won't like it, to be honest, but I love it, and maybe you will too. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say, and I don't know what I did say. I said quite a lot. The other thing to note is there's quite a bit of sampling in this. I think there's sampling in the first song, as well as the fourth song and the third song. But they use sampling, I'm not really sure what for, but the samplings they use are basically, I don't know if it's from other music or other movies or something like that, but it's people in the movie or in the music talking about depression or talking about self-abuse. So yeah, I thought I'd just mention that, and I don't know why. But anyway, please go and check out One Final Action, I'm in a Coffin, released 2008, Self-Mutilation Services. Go and check it out. Hope you enjoyed the review. I know you didn't, but I hope you did, and see you soon.